Hello, hello, hello. My name is Monique. This is the Traveling Jamaican, and I was just featured on HGTV's House Hunters International. That feels like it's been a dream come true. It's a small thing. It was a cool thing to do. But I've been watching House Hunters, especially House Hunters International, forever. And I always used to picture myself, we watch these shows and we picture ourselves doing the show. And to see it actually manifest and come true, that was just like so amazing to see myself on TV, on big TV. Come on small TV all the time, And I know me come on TV, I have no little clip of Jamaica. But that was just like really and truly a dream come true to see myself on HGTV. And it has me like shooting for the stars because I think me and Munchkin are naturals. Don't you think so? I think we were meant for TV, and I'm envisioning us maybe on a travel show, like a travel reality show, and they're following us around, and mom and daughter, single mom takes her daughter around the world. How am I sound? Pitch it to someone, like who is out there hearing me? You listen? Anyways, I want to share with you a little bit more of the why, because I feel like a lot of the why did not make it onto the show. I'm going to share with you some of the things that I spoke about that I really hoped made it, and just share my experience of what it was like being on the show in this video. So strap in, sit down, grab a cocktail, and let's chit chat. Now, first of all, this video, what should I call it? This episode has been almost 2 years in the making, because how did I come about the opportunity? That's the first thing that you're probably wanting to know. So when I moved from Jamaica to Mexico, you start to join these Facebook groups, and then they become WhatsApp groups. And I started to join these groups with other expats just to help us navigate being in somewhere new. And I saw it floating around in one of these expat groups. Does anyone want to do House Hunters? And I was like, of course. And so I just silently took down the email address and sent over a pitch to the producer. Hell yeah, I want to be on House Hunters International. At that time, it was all 4 of us. So my parents used to be here with me and Marley. First of all, it feels so weird to actually say her name. Whenever I heard myself say Marley on the episode, I kind of cringed up a little bit, because if you're not new here, you know that I call her Munchkin. She's been my Munchkin ever since she was a Munchkin, and she'll always be my Munchkin. So on this channel, I refer to her as Munchkin. So when I was watching the episode like, who's Marley? Who's this Marley that they're talking about? So it used to be me, Marley, and both of my parents here with me. And when I did the audition, which was just over Zoom, so that the producer could get a feel, I guess, for our personality and our story and decide if it was going to be a good fit for the show, all 4 of us did it. And the crazy thing about when I originally did that first video is that we were staying in a very temporary house at the time. I hadn't actually found a home, like a long-term home for everybody. I was still on the hunt for a bigger house that all 4 of us could comfortably live in. So when we did that pitch, I was genuinely still house hunting for true. So, the producer, she absolutely loved us. She told me it's going to be amazing. I'm sure they're going to love you. It's going to be fine. Fast forward a little bit, and my parents went home almost a year ago. So my parents went home October 2023. If you're watching, I'm creating this video right now in October 2024. The episode actually came out in October 2024. So my parents went home in October 2023. I hadn't heard from HGTV or from the studio, because a separate studio creates a show and it is aired on HGTV. So I had not heard from the studio all through the year after I did the interview, the pitch. I did the pitch. I don't remember when I did the pitch, but months and months and months had went by, and I was just like, I hadn't heard from them. I kind of put it in the back of my head. My parents went home, and then, so my parents went home in October. January, I get an email from the producer like, hey, I've been reaching out to you. I haven't heard from you. We're still interested. Wagwan. And I was like, you reached out to me? Where? Me never get no email. But I was so happy. However, come again. Me never in a no house yet. Not to blow up HGTV's spot or the show's spot, but you kind of have to be very, very, very close to signing somewhere for you to actually be on the show, because they're not going to actually wait for you to house hunt over many, many months to put you on the show. So me never have no house, me never did I live nowhere when she emailed me and said, yeah man, we're ready, So I responded to her and said, well, guess what? It's just me and my daughter right now. Ain't no parents, bro. And I was so scared that she was gonna say, well, I pitched you as this whole family, like I can't. She was like, oh, don't worry about it. We still love that you and Munchkin, uprooted from Jamaica, blah, 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 blah. It's gonna be fine, it's gonna be perfect. And if you have been on this channel for a while, you know the struggles of what I've been going through, being that I just saw where Kamla did an interview and gave us a name. I don't know if she gave us a name or this name has been around, but I am from the sandwich generation where I have been kind of helping to take care of my parents. And obviously I'm a mom taking care of my child. So I have been in those struggles of just being that sandwich person. And, it's for this opportunity to come around and it just be a me and Munchkin thing. It kind of made me feel good. Like this is something just for us. And I was happy. And, it was like a little platform that was going to elevate this experience and solidify it as an us thing and kind of make me feel like this is a journey that I'm supposed to take as just us. Because when my parents went home, that is something that I struggled with bigly. Should I go home too? Should I continue to be close to them so I could, especially my father, my father is really the one that I was making sure I took care of the most, because, my mom, she's her own person and she stands on her own 2 feet. But my father had very big health scares and I was struggling with whether I should go home and, have him in my house as me being his primary caregiver. That was a struggle for me. And so when they rallied back and said, yeah, man, we're ready for you, I was again not in a house. I was actually living with my friends. So you could call me homeless at that time. I was living with a friend of ours, trying to decide in my head. My friend was actually the one, and you see her in the episode, it's a tiny little clip, but you see us cheersing at the end of the episode. She was the one who was like, no, where y'all go, stay. Your journey here in Mexico is not yet complete. You have not ticked off all the boxes that you came here for. Stay. And she said, you could stay with me if you need to. Don't go just yet. And I'm so grateful to her that she did that. And so when the show came around, I had to kick it into gear and be like, all right, I need to actually go get a house. We need to be house hunting if I'm going to be on House Hunters. So I started house hunting. And the rest is history. The rest is actually what played out on the show. But some of the things that they did not share in the episode is the why. And I really and truly think that would have enriched the show so much more. But when I watch it back, I understand. I think they stretched it out as much as possible. And I understand, obviously, everything can't fit. We shot over 4 very long days. And, that was truncated into a 22-minute episode. So I just wanted to come on and share a little bit more about why I decided to move from Jamaica to Mexico. I have very, very big dreams. I have always wanted to travel more, to live abroad. And, I've shared before that it was just the right time with the whole pandemic and me already working at home. Munchkin had just transitioned from prep school. She was going to high school. She hated her high school experience. My work life was crumbling. It was I just did a very long thread on Twitter, explaining or highlighting some of my work challenges. And my work at the time, I was in freelancing, helping other people with social media management and freelance writing for blogs and different websites. And that had taken a very downward turn. And it was just yet another downward turn in my life of downward turns on getting clients and losing clients. And I was just like, maybe it's time to move to somewhere where my dollar can stretch further. That's obvious. That's honestly, really and truly what it was. I was struggling financially, and I thought there's always been this kind of baseline. So maybe if I move to somewhere where the baseline can stretch, I can breathe a little bit, sigh of relief, and live a little more, and things would get better. When they say that, travel does not remove you from your circumstances, why? Wherever you are, there you are. Or wherever you go, there you are. That's the saying, right? Because I left Jamaica and I came to Mexico, and what happened? Same cycle repeated. My baseline shrunk. My baseline shrunk. And so now I'm here in Mexico and I'm still financially struggling. And I'm just like, okay, something's wrong here. And when I analyze my cycle of freelance work and whatever, everything I do online, really and truly been trying to dig into the mindset and trying to figure out what am I doing that is not clicking, that's not sticking. And I just feel like I've had big dreams of being this big, not influencer, because I've never wanted to be an influencer, or I guess influencer in the traditional terms, but I've always wanted to build a platform that encourages people to live more, live more loud, live more free, just live more, just be more, just do more, just to experience more. I think the world is a huge place. There's so much to do and see and experience. And, moving has taught me definitely that there's so much out there to see and learn from. And I've always wanted to build this platform that encourages people to do that. And I made the leap and came and, sold everything and came to Mexico to do that, saying that I'm going to come here and build this platform and show people that it can be done and you can thrive. The thriving part is to be continued. The thriving part is slipping me, and I do not know why. At this point, I think I need therapy or a coach, or I don't know what I need, but something's not clicking for me, and I have yet to figure it out, because I go through these immense highs where I have everything going for me. I have big clients paying me big money and everything's going good. And then boop, it gets taken away for whatever reason. And I'm just like on my face and I'm tired of it. I think the main fact is that freelancing I'm tired of being in the cycle of highs and lows and highs and lows. I'm tired of relying on clients for making money. And that was the hope of coming here and growing this YouTube platform and having the platform grow big enough where it takes over, I can make enough money from it so that I am no longer having to rely on any kind of work. I just get up every day and all that I'm thinking about is what kind of content I want to create. That's not been the case. That's not been the situation. And at this point, I'm kind of ready to go back on my yard and maybe have a job or something, because the trauma of not knowing where my next meal comes from is something that I would want to put down. I'm tired of it now. But I am still here, still showing up online, still trying to create content, and I am so happy that I got the opportunity to do the House Hunters show and welcome more of you into this community. It just gave me a little, kind of push to say that the journey continues and it's not something that I can give up on yet, because I won't lie to you guys, I kind of feel like I'm ready to go home and take a job and just have the comfort and stability of a paycheck coming in every month. Ooh, freelancing is not for the weak of heart. Anyway, so one of the big questions that they did ask me on the show that I don't think was shown in the show is, why is it important for me to have this platform, and why is it important for me to, I guess, encourage people? Why was it important for me to leave Jamaica and to come to Mexico? And it's definitely because I just think that there's a lot more to life than the 9 to 5. it's so funny. It's funny that I am, trying to escape the 9 to 5 is what probably brought me here. I wanted to come somewhere where the little money that I was making was stretching further. But now it seems like I might need to go back and take up a 9 to 5 so that I can pay my bills, free us from capitalism. But the sense of freedom that I feel not being a slave to a corporation is immense, is outstanding, is remarkable, is amazing. And I want it for more people. I want it for more people. And I want to get better at it for myself. I do want to get better at it for myself. I want to figure out how to sustain myself doing what I love the most, which is just living more life. As my t-shirt says, keep growing wild and free. That's the Sagittarius in me. I will probably always be the unconventional person who does not want the 9 to 5, who wants to get up and go on a big adventure and go to the beach and eat fish on a Wednesday. That's me. That's embedded and ingrained in me. And when I look at the life that I have provided for my daughter, who now does guitar lessons, who now has friends from all over the globe, people from South Africa, from so many different states in the US, from different countries around the world in her small inner circle, I just feel like it wasn't for naught. And it reminds me that this, even if I do have to go back home and get a job, it reminds me that this was not a failure. I came, I did it. I learned a lot of lessons. I learned that I don't necessarily want to live outside of Jamaica. I think I want a home base and to be able to travel more. And so that's fine. I don't necessarily need to live or leave my home base for more than 2 to 3 months at a time. Go out and travel and experience the world and then come back home. I thought that Mexico would have been a nicer home base for me. I thought that Mexico could be that home base and maybe I could travel back to Jamaica more. But I think I definitely want it to be the other way around. I love my Jamaica. I truly love Jamaica. I love being Jamaican and I love living in Jamaica. I love Jamaica and I want to live there again. This journey has taught me that I can do the hard things. It has taught me that life is out there to be lived and I should chase my dreams as often as I can, even if sometimes you don't hit it out the park the first go around. Because if I do end up going back to Jamaica, it doesn't mean that I might not leave and live somewhere else again in the future. I learned so much on this initial journey that maybe 10 years from now, I will be living in Thailand or Bali or, I don't know. So much more of life to behold. And I learned a lot about moving abroad on this first journey. I feel very comfortable knowing that I can go back home and start all over again and build up back again and go with more experience. Because, when they say that when you're starting over at an older age, it's not that you're starting over from scratch. You're starting over with more wisdom and more experience. And so welcome to the family. Thank you guys. It means so much to me that you watched the program and my personality was so endearing that you searched me up, because it's not like you could click a link on the TV and come to my YouTube. You actually searched for me and found me. A lot of you found me on Instagram and a lot of you are here on my YouTube channel, and it means a lot to me that you would actually search me out, come and find me and click subscribe or like or whatever. A lot of you have messaged me and reached out to me, and so I just wanted to do this video to say hi, welcome to the fam. My platform is just really and truly all about encouraging everyone to live a little more out loud, like to chase more of our dreams, to not be stuck in the hamster wheel that I'm about to go back into. But the hamster wheel has its place. It has its place, and I've been fighting against it for forever, but it has its place. And so every now and then you have to jump back in and do a little grind and then come back out and chase another dream. That's the life cycle, and I think I'm about to go back to the hamster wheel. But thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. There's a lot of content here that you can dig into. I just rewatched one of my videos from when I was in Jamaica, and it was really heartwarming. It was about 5 years ago, so Munchkin was about 9 or 10. We went to Chukka. I will include a link to it in a card somewhere here. We went to Chukka in Sandy Bay, and you know, it was my first time on an ATV. It was my first time doing power snorkeling. Munchkin did power snorkeling again. Those are the experiences that I love, and I want to do more of them. I have not been able to. I've been in Mexico for 2 years now, and I really have not been able to dig my heels into Mexico as much as I wish I could have, because the money journey just didn't pan out. So if you take these journeys and these steps, don't do it like I did. Make sure you're much more financially stable than I did it. But I will be back to Mexico. There's a lot that I still have on my Mexico want to do list, but I've been battling it out here in Mexico for at least 2 years. I don't know if I have it in me to battle out for longer. I need to go back home and regroup and try this thing again. But yeah, this is me, the 41-year-old kid who thinks that life is a game and it is out there to be lived, played, experienced. Take a bite into it. And I don't know what the next video will hold. If you have any ideas for me on this channel, you want to see stuff here in Mexico, if you want to see stuff here in Mexico, help a sister out. There are several ways to support me down in the description box below, because I can't promise you that I can even go to a restaurant, go show you all the restaurants stay without. If you have questions about Mexico, moving to Mexico, anything like that, leave them in the description box below and I will be happy to answer them for you. This is Monique, the traveling Jamaican. We're not done travel yet. We soon picked up back. I will see you guys in the next one.